You're listening to the Autumnfest Parade on WOON AM and FM and ON TV worldwide. All right, back on from the ON TV truck here in the parking lot of All Saints on Social Street here in Division 1 has just come into view. Paul Zangari and Adam Zangari with yours truly, Dave Richards here. And as we have our telephoto lens way up the street, we can see that the parade, the vanguard of the parade has just come on to Social Street, but seems to have stopped allowing things to catch up.
Exactly. That's just what it appears. Some of Woonsocket's finest right in the lead.
The Division 1 Marshal is Nancy Phillips, and we'll remind Craig Pelletier, who'll be out there with a microphone to talk to our Grand Marshal, that Nancy probably has the list of awards for the floats,
which we would like to let you know about. So.
Of course, we'd like to have that be as part of our broadcast here.
But you can see the flags. They are in view now, and we're getting a...
Maybe hear the sirens now, too.
Yep, and you do see the police cars are moving. It's funny, on a telephoto like that, it looks very, very slow. I mean, slower than it might even actually be because of the distances being compressed. But
is that how that works?
Yeah, but I like the vantage point here, where you can actually see them coming from a distance as they round that corner.
We're going to give you a bit of perspective now. Yeah. That's how far away they are to the truck, because now if we put on camera 3, you can see just how far up the street they are. They're really just barely passing the Shell station.
Yep.
And we're at the corner of Privilege and Social Street. That's the corner that you see on your screens right now. And they're moving pretty slow. So it'll be another little bit. We also have camera 2 over here. Paul Pelletier staffing camera 2 on the other side of the street in case there's something we can't see on this side. Then we'll get it to you from his camera on the other side of the street. And boy, that was a trick running that wire across Social Street, I'll tell you.
Did you bury it? Or is it overhead? Or is it microwave?
It's a microwave. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes. The secret is out. Yes. The microwave.
So please turn off your pacemaker.
Yes.
That's a funny one, Paul.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Adam didn't get that one either. He doesn't remember back in the 80s. Oh, back in the 80s when the radar ranges came out first, you couldn't use pacemakers near them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the energy from the microwave could cause your pacemaker to malfunction.
Yeah.
And that would be a bad thing. Yes.
Yeah. That has since been fixed, but
thankfully.
Yep. Yeah. You know, the crazy thing is, the microwave oven is a Rhode Island invention.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Raytheon.
Exactly, the Submarine Signal Division in Portsmouth.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
A guy was working in the lab with microwave energy, and that's very high-frequency radio energy, and he had a candy bar in his pocket. While he was working, it melted, and he says, "Hey, there might be something to this." Yeah. Okay, I think I can hear sirens and stuff. So let's
very
get to
clearly.
It. There's the parade,
yep.
And by golly, let's get going here.
All right. They've reached the corner of Social and Privilege, and the police, as you can see, are right here. The Woonsocket police leading this parade.
That's as they do every year.
They do, yeah.
With the lights flashing and occasionally the sirens playing. There we go. There's the siren.
Yep.
We'll try to turn that down for our radio and TV listeners. But there's just so much we're going to be able to turn it down.
but Dave, I think the sign that says "Please play" for radio and TV is actually having an effect.
That piece of paper right there, we see them getting ready to hand it to you. That's for you. That's our float winners.
All right. Our street reporter, Craig Pelletier, in your view there. All right. And it's official. The beginning of the parade has passed the live truck. Okay.
And there's Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt.
Yep.
Along with Police Chief Oates right behind her, and all of his lieutenants and commanders. Very, very nice.
The cutest one out there is the dog.
And we have some cadets there from the Explorer Post as well. Very nice.
Yes.
And there's our city councilors. We have Denise Sierra there, John Brian, Chris Beauchamp, Dan General Council President. Oh, and I have to say, John Brian, Council Vice President. because he likes it when I say that.
As good a reason as any, Dave.
Yeah. All right. And Paul Bourget, our Grand Marshal, is coming into view right now, folks. And Craig's going over there so that we can get a little talk with him.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, he's on the opposite side of the car from our truck, so I think he's going to have to go to the opposite side of the street. That's okay. We'll get a camera on him, and we'll get a chance to hear the words of our Grand Marshal right here. There's our picture. Take a look. Now, Paul, I told you, does he not look like the picture you saw on the internet?
Yeah.
That's as close to General George Green as anyone's going to find, I think.
That's a good reenactment.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's get him on the air.
Hey, Paul, how's everything going? What a fantastic parade. The crowds are fantastic. What a wonderful community we live in. Love it. Thanks for being our Grand Marshal. My pleasure.
I love the Civil War era Camaro.
Now.
Oh, he's going to be doing this all day.
Yep. Yep, there we go with the, it looked like the Union Army walking by.
Yeah, he had a bunch of his chums there for the reenactment. There, nicely done.
And
we didn't coordinate when he was going to shut that off.
There we go. Sorry about that.
I'd leave it on for the whole thing in case you had to do it. Use it again.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And there you see more Union soldiers coming right into view.
That's right.
Along with some more Civil War era transportation.
Hold it.
Woo! There we go.
All the red lights went on in the truck.
And a guy dropped his bayonet.
Oh, gee whiz. Well, he'll pick it up. He'll pick it up for sure.
He's got it. All right, reattaching the bayonet.
There we go.
Of course, the way a bayonet mounts, not unlike certain kinds of light bulbs.
Of course, if you leave it there in the street, it could puncture a tire. But
yes, and there are vehicles that are coming down the road where with tires on them.
Yep, and announcing the names of our next people.
Yep. Let's see. Did we have the Providence Brigade Band just not playing, or have they come into view yet?
I haven't seen them.
All right.
I'm assuming they haven't come here yet, but
it was good to actually have the muskets. Well, those aren't muskets; they're later than muskets. But have the.
Well, they're long rifles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have the salute within range of our microphones as we continue.
Our microphones appreciate it.
As all the headphones blow out.
Yeah.
And eardrums too.
If we go off the air now, you know why.
Okay.
Well, if the fire truck sirens don't do it, nothing will.
Say, Joe Callahan was telling me earlier today about the Bridgestone event, the Formula One event that's going to be taking place this afternoon. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There they have a nice little banner right here in the parade.
Look at that.
Yep.
What a beautiful TV truck in the background. Oh, I'm sorry.
I see the swords drawn.
The real highlight of the
All
parade.
Right. And a cannon. That would have really blown out the.
Yes,
Yeah.
Here's the band. Here's the band.
Oh,
You
here
see
we
the
go.
band?
Yep.
There
The
we
Providence
go.
There's the
Brigade
band right
Band.
now. They're going to play,
Brigade
so
Band.
let's listen in. Well, it's a shame that we have all the sirens there, but that's.
I mean, they do fit in with the music. The original Providence Brigade Band was chartered in 1846 and was made up of tradesmen and professionals who were musicians by avocation. The tradition continues today, and the band recreates a brass band from 1850 to 1875 and plays music from before, during, and after the American Civil War. The arrangements you can hear them playing are from the period and are played using authentic instruments from that era. They also are accurately reproduced.
Yeah, we can't hear them anymore.
Oh.
And you know what?
What?
They didn't have a URL when they first were chartered in 1846.
I guess not.
No.
There you see the color guard of the Woonsocket Fire Department. Chief Shatrov's in the center in the secondary line back there, right in the center. And he's got his lieutenants and captains on either side. I can't see clearly enough who they are, unfortunately, but there they are, and they're waiting for everybody in front of them to move so they can move. Our fire trucks are getting ready to impress us with their sirens.
They're actually doing it from quite a range, aren't they?
Which are?
Yes, I mean the sound of the sirens does tend to travel,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yes, and when there's an emergency to get to, that's a very good thing. There you go.
And there they go. I guess they decided to go as soon as they started.
They started to march on cue there. Well, you don't want to run into whoever is in front of you if they're not moving.
True. We've got quite the line of fire trucks here as well.
That Woonsocket Engine 1. Looks like our neighbors from Blackstone.
There's nothing like there's nothing like having fire trucks in stereo.
What was that, Dave? Did you say something?
Here's Blackstone going by, engine 54. Beautiful. And then behind that, oh, look at this one. Pascoag,
right.
Rhode Island has sent their fire truck. This is a tanker.
Yeah.
They take it out into the woods for those brush fires. Tanker 4.
Where you don't have fire plugs. Nice historic truck here from Pascoag, too.
Another Pascoag one. Fire Department number 2. Nice little old truck coming.
I remember that one when it was new.
All right. Oh, an Aaron's Fox. Okay.
You can really smell it from here.
Oakland and Mapleville.
And Harrisville, bringing up the rear.
That's truck number 2.
All right. A pickup.
Well, interesting thing, guys. I just had them close the door in the truck. We were hearing them as they were going by, but actually the audience wasn't hearing them as loud as we were.
Yeah, and we weren't hearing ourselves. Here's Manville.
Yeah. Manville.
Yep.
Right in town.
Yep.
Let's get some more of that beautiful truck footage there.
There you go. You mean the white one that's parked? Oh, junior ROTC here.
From Woonsocket High School, yes.
Yep.
There's another Manville truck in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Bringing up the rear before the JROTC.
From Woonsocket High School. Or as people who don't know would say, Woonsocket High School.
Where Eagles dare.
Oh, man, it's
we
amazing.
got a band coming up, guys. As we watch
sounds like it.
They're warming up. With any luck, they'll play, and then we can be quiet while we listen to them play. Oh, they're still in their warm-ups. Okay. But the junior ROTC is marching by right now. And, of course, marching is one of the things that they do.
And look at the gun drills that the guys in the back are doing.
Yep.
I don't know the proper military name for that, but I do know a great band when I see one. And here they come.
With the Woonsocket High School cheerleaders as well. It's the Woonsocket High School Marching Band.
Absolutely. And they're going to play. Let's listen in.
very nicely. Yeah.
Huh?
All
That
right.
was Woonsocket High School Marching Band.
And Adam, people your age playing music from my era.
Ah,
Hey, baby. What's that?
Well, I mean-
Chanel.
it's not up to them. Also some vocals.
Woonsocket Teachers Guild Local 951 AFT passing by now.
All right.
All right.
A lot of our teachers are a little unhappy with not being able to come to a contract, but they're coming out to visit with everybody here at our Autumnfest Parade.
Yeah, of course, it is a day out of school. So.
Yeah, so they're
Certainly, yeah.
Yep.
perfectly welcome to show up. Available.
Good crowd, too. Nice participation. All right, well, check out the Pontiac right behind him. You can hear the band still marking time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Pretty good. They had some vocals earlier, too. I mean, they might put the chorus out of business.
Well, maybe chorus members are with them, too. But
They were carrying instruments, so I figured they weren't really chorus members.
dual purpose.
Yeah. Jacks
Love
of all
it.
trades.
Yeah, don't you love it when pages stick together? Okay.
Of course.
Yep. Okay. Is the middle school band coming up? I think
They
they're
should
next.
be coming
They're
up
next
soon.
in the order of March. Of course, sometimes
According
things
to
get
the book.
shuffled. 49 to 51 or so.
Planet
Pontiac.
Fitness
Sure
is
enough.
coming up, and yeah, it looks like the middle school band's behind the Planet Fitness truck.
All right.
Yep. Looks like it.
It does, and they just hit the roll off, so they're going to play again. Let's get a mic on them.
Sounds good.
All right.
Hey, I recognize that song.
More Novans. All right.
Yeah. The little Novans. The littler Novans.
Well, yeah. Oh, some members of the state police. All right. And the 88th Army Band coming up. I think I see the right kind of uniforms, too. Yeah.
That looks like them off in the distance.
Yeah.
Well, not really off in the distance, but on camera 3, which is...
There you go.
Well, camera 1, actually.
One of the cameras.
One of the cameras. Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Yeah. But these guys were impressive. They actually did an assembly at LHS back when I was there, Adam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, not these guys, but...
All right, they're predecessors. Yeah. Yeah, because when I was at that, well, let's put it this way, Adam, I got, what, a 51-year head start on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happen to see that our governor is there and senators,
Yeah.
all right there, going
U.S.
by.
Congressman, yep.
Yeah, and our statewide officers.
Yep. Yeah, both senators, I saw, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd be willing to bet that none of the people in the 88th Army Band were even born when you were at LHS.
That's probably true. Well, maybe some senior officer that's going to.
There's,
Okay, and political
Alan
candidates, yep. Okay. And people walking with cell phones. Okay.
Taking this opportunity to get in the parade themselves.
There you go. Now, let's see, Veterans Division, that is actually still part of Division 1, I think. Isn't not 1B?
Yes, the Division 1B is coming up now.
Yep,
yeah.
okay.
The Veterans Division.
Yep. Meaning still 9 more divisions to come, but yep.
And here comes the banner.
Yep.
All-American Veterans Division.
Right. Let's see. The Patriot Riders of America should be up here very soon. All right. And they're actually from here in Woonsocket. And as you can see, the Patriot Riders ride. And it sounds like mostly Harleys. Okay. You got some really neat looking bikes. Now you say Patriot Riders, when you look at the stars and stripes and the eagle on that bike. All right.
I've got 3 floats coming down here, LCBP and F9 and the
All right.
Harrier. I can do colorful.
So these are the Patriot Riders,
Yeah,
I'm assuming?
yeah, they are. Yep. And they do tell you what their function is, which is to help all-American veterans, to help people in communities, encourage rider participation in events, and promote motorcycle safety. They support the Constitution of the U.S., the right to freedom for all, and fellow members.
They also aren't just veterans. They're an organization of veterans and non-veterans, but they're on a mission to assist their vets, and as they say, they ride motorcycles while doing this.
Yep, and so you can say to support them. All right. Now, we also have some more, it sounds like muskets coming up ahead of time.
Bristol County Fifes and Drums.
Kind of fits, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
They're regular parade visitors, aren't they?
Oh.
Anyway, the Bristol County Fifes and Drums were first incorporated in Seekonk under the name of the Yankee Volunteers. In 2016, they went into a partnership with the BTA to become Bristol's own colonial fife and drum band.
Now, BTA being the Bristol Train of Artillery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And obviously, we've moved into a somewhat more modern era here when we see the classic, really, military Jeep.
Ah, yes.
But much more modern than the fife and drum. But as you can see, an antique plate. We're looking at the... Yep.
The Bristol County Fifes and Drums have also been featured performers at Mount Rushmore, London, Washington, D.C., and Disney World.
They get around, don't they?
Summer of 2017 brought them to Denver.
Now, we've got Vietnam-era vets here right now, and of course, the vehicles that were appropriate for the conflict in which they served. Cumberland Veterans Council coming up here.
And the United Veterans Council of Woonsocket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you've got some big floats coming too. Take a look at this American flag here.
Wow. I'm not good at estimating sizes, but that's obviously bigger than you would see on your average flagpole. It looks more like the kind you'd see at a military installation.
Now, we got a couple of floats here, and Bill Sheridan is coming from the Rhode Island Aviation Hall of Fame, and he's with Craig Pelletier out on the route, and maybe he can describe the John F. Kennedy and the floats that we're seeing coming by now.
So, we got the John F. Kennedy coming by.
Yep, this is a 15-foot model of the aircraft carrier USS John F. Kennedy, CB-67. It's part of our museum down here in North Kingston, the USS Saratoga Museum and the Rhode Island Aviation Hall of Fame. This is just one part of it. The next float you see coming down is an actual F-9F Panther jet. This is the type of jet that was flown in the Korean War. And we're putting it in the colors of a guy named Ted Williams, who everybody in New England is going to know. Ted flew F-9F Panthers in Korea. He was also a pilot in World War II. So we're restoring this in his honor.
That is a gorgeous plane.
Behind that, we have, for the Army, so we have the Army in here as well as the Marine Corps. is a deuce and a half. The ubiquitous Army truck that hauled supplies and manpower in all the wars that we've had. This is a 1960 model. This was completely restored by a private collector. But the next piece that's coming is, we think, the best float in the parade. It won the Judges Award. This is an actual Navy LCVP. That stands for Landing Craft Vehicle and Personnel. This is the thing that went up on the beaches, the ramp dropped, and the troops raced out. This particular one we're using to honor our veterans from D-Day, June 6, 1944. And in the back of this one, at his position as coxswain, is Woonsocket native Richard Fazio, who at 19 years old drove one of these at Omaha Beach in the first wave on D-Day in June 6, 1944. Richard's on the other side right here, and Richard is 93 years young, and he participates with us today. A Woonsocket native still lives here in Woonsocket.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the help. Guys?
That was great. And, you know, it's a couple more pieces of New England trivia related to the era. The Cape Penelope, which is one of the ferries that goes between, I think it's Montauk Point, New York, and New London, Connecticut, was actually one of those landing craft from D-Day. A ferry that's still in use. I remember picking my mother-in-law up a couple of years ago, and I was blown away when I saw the sign on the ship. And Ted Williams' plane, Ted Williams' wingman for at least part of the time that he served in the war, was John Glenn. It was an interesting combination. The two
famous people.
Yeah, two people who, yeah, well, you know, made a difference in their respective fields. All right.
Right now we see folks going by. We have to take a little break while we're taking pictures of the folks going by. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Autumnfest Parade here on WOON AM and FM and ON TV worldwide. ON Radio. This portion of ON's Autumnfest coverage brought to you by Woonsocket City Council President Dan Gendron, who thanks the steering committee for their hard work in producing this wonderful event. Have a safe and happy Autumnfest from Dan Gendron and his family. Paid for by Friends of Dan Gendron. This portion of ON's Autumnfest coverage brought to you by Rhode Island State Senator Roger Pickard.
This is State Senator Roger Pickard, thanking you for your support and allowing me to represent you in District 20. I look forward to meeting you at Autumnfest and welcome your suggestions and concerns. May you all have a great weekend from all of us in the Pickard family.
Paid for by Friends of Roger Pickard.
Back to the street now. Division 2 is here, gentlemen. Paul and Adam Zangari.
All right.
Oh.
So, boy, that means we are making time here, and I need to skip ahead.
We have to find Division
We
2.
have City Council candidates going by, right ahead of the Woonsocket Lodge of Elks 850.
All right.
Please
Saratoga,
excuse us while
yes.
we try to find our place.
There we are.
Over right.
Okay. Okay.
You'll figure out where you are eventually.
Let's see. We are at the corner.
No.
Social and privilege here. All right. So we've got Elks, I believe. The
Yes.
BPOE.
And you've got the Elks float going by right now. They put together a float, guys, for the 40th Autumnfest Parade.
Elks just floating by. How about that?
Well, they will be very shortly.
Yes.
Floating by behind a rather large tractor.
That's a...
They got a huge life-size minion.
Oh, man,
And, of course,
that is a little bit creepy, but...
Elroy the elk, their mascot, is in there, too.
All right.
I don't know if you can see him.
there we
He's the
go.
one with the antlers.
He's the one waving to us.
Oh, yes.
Elroy the elk.
I do see the antlers. Yeah, that would have something to do with it. Yep.
Playing music, too.
Neil Diamond.
Oh, yeah. There they are. Playing music from Neil Diamond as they go by and waving to everybody. Did they get an award for that float?
Let me see.
I thought I
Let me
saw a
double
cup
check.
in somebody's hands. Elks embracing our community is what
Oh,
it
here
is.
we
yes,
go.
they got
It's
the
the Creative Award. The Woonsocket.
Beautiful.
But you know, most of those elks are humans.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very creative.
yes, Paul. Yes, Paul.
Anyways, here comes the Mount St. Charles Academy Elite
Dance team.
Dance team. Yep.
Yeah.
And the Mount Cheerleaders in front of them
Let's
as well.
listen in as they cheer. right.
Past February, they claimed first and second place at the New England Regionals for hip hop and jazz. How about that?
That's impressive. And also, we're going to be seeing them later this year. We're playing Mountain these days.
We've played a few games there already.
Yes, we have.
Yep.
Didn't go too well last year, but we're going to be.
Look at
this
the
year.
beautiful float that Mount St. Charles has put together.
With a Mountie.
Their open house is
yes.
coming up on Sunday, October 14th, this coming Sunday. They got the big Mountie out front. A really, well, it's not life-size replica, but it's a huge replica of Mount St. Charles Academy. Once a Mountie, always a Mountie, it says on there. And look, there's Dave Belisle on the back of the floato there. Dave Belisle and Bill Belisle, he's seated on the float to make sure nothing happens because he's getting on there, of course, and we don't want anything to go wrong. He's in the Mount Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And you see them right there.
And by the way, it is the best float here, the Mount St. Charles Academy float, and I can see that. That's the Judges Awards here.
Judges Award for Best in the Parade?
Yeah, look at it.
I'm not surprised.
Check
look
it
at the
out.
work
Isn't
that went
that's
into
beautiful?
that.
Yeah.
If you're watching our coverage on the TV, you just can't believe the detail that went in. I mean, that looks, I don't know what they made it out of, but it looks just like the building, only a miniature scale. And now we're getting a better picture of Dave and Bill Belisle on the back of the float.
But yeah, Mount St. Charles has really been the last four things, really. The band, the dance team, the cheerleaders, now their float.
And their float, which
and we have a band going by too, guys.
Yep.
It's going by fast.
It's the Good Shepherd Catholic School Band.
We will rock you.
Queen.
And one of my favorites in any Autumnfest parade, the Sad Winds Isetta.
You got it.
There you go. Too close, Paul, too close. Let's see that beautiful car. Back up a little bit. There we go.
There, all right.
Now we can see the whole car.
One of those little egg-shaped Italian cars with a BMW motorcycle engine.
And get that, yeah, there we go. Get a picture of that WWON Spirit of the Blackstone Valley bumper sticker from 1978 still on there.
Wow. All right.
And it says on the back of the car, see you next year.
Yep.
Isn't that something? The Sad Ones keep that little, I think it's a 56 Isetta running.
56,
beautiful.
yep.
Is this Mount St. Charles?
57.
Oh, wait a minute, this is
North Smithfield.
the Northmen are here from North Smithfield.
We're going to beat them too.
Oh, come on, let's not be talking that way. This is Autumnfest.
Oh, boy.
Well, he started playing a little bit late, but we got him in there anyway. Thanks on Wisconsin there with North Smithfield marching band. Crown Trophy. The Bucket Brigade is coming along. Let's remember to support the Bucket Brigade all up and down the parade.
That's how it all happens.
Oh, gosh, yes. Very, very important. And Division 3 is here on our Autumnfest Parade. We'll be right back as we mock Division 3. This portion of ON's Autumnfest coverage brought to you by
Are you getting like
Rhode
a
Island
consistent
State Senator Roger Pickard.
This is State Senator Roger Pickard, thanking you for your support and allowing me to represent you in District 20. I look forward to meeting you at Autumnfest and welcome your suggestions and concerns. May you all have a great weekend from all of us in the Pickard family.
Paid for by friends of Roger Pickard.
This portion of ON Radio's Autumnfest coverage brought to you by Rhode Island State Representative Steve Casey, who hopes you all have a happy and safe Autumnfest. See you at Autumnfest from Rhode Island State Representative Steve Casey, District 50. Paid for by friends of Stephen Casey. All right, back on here as our parade continues to go by. Lincoln, our neighbors, are coming up next.
That's who I've been waiting for.
Here you go.
There's the Lincoln Police right there. Our guy driving the car saying hi to us, waving.
I'm right around the corner from us.
And these guys look familiar.
Oh, geez, Adam, your classmates.
Yep,
Here we go.
the LHS Marching Band.
There they are, passing our location.
Well, I could mention everyone I recognize there, but we'd be here all day.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
Anyways, the LHS band is, well, band at LHS is taught by Mr. Dave Enos. He's done a great job with them.
We have it. That's right. And by the way, recently they've appeared in Washington.
If they give you a paragraph to read about the band, you ain't going to have time or we won't listen to them.
63 Corvair. Interestingly, you know that silly commercial with a car on fire? It is a red 63 Corvair convertible. I know I own a 64 Corvair.
The LHS band has also performed at Niagara Falls in Toronto.
There you go. And that's just in recent years.
Yep.
It's nice of them to give you so much, but it's a choice as they go by. You either listen to them or you talk about them.
I mean, it's my school. I gotta plug them.
Understood. Barber's Place has got a nice little float here. Academy of Tap, Jazz, and Ballet is represented. Look at this lovely Autumnfest cake on this flatbed over here.
I love the C-Cab Mack truck. That's like World War I era and later, but
very nice.
Wait a
minute.
Way back.
The Burrillville High School Marching Band is doing maneuvers.
Yeah.
I remember when we tried this one time.
It's not easy.
Before Autumnfest, when I was in Burrillville High School, the big parade was down in Providence for Columbus Day.
Yep.
And we tried doing this in Providence. There wasn't enough room. We started bumping into each other.
With the double reverse. Yeah.
You're showing off here, huh?
Yep.
Here we go. Here's Burrillville. And there they go, Burrillville.
Here they come. There they go. Here they come. There they go.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, we got some signs over here.
All right, more bucket
Did you enjoy Autumnfest?
Show me the money.
Oh, this is the Bucket Brigade. The Bucket Brigade.
So pull out the loose change and give it to the Bucket Brigade.
Exactly. The Bucket Brigade here at Autumnfest. Very important. And look at them on stilts here. We have a scarecrow lady and a scarecrow guy on stilts going by. They're almost as tall as our truck.
Yeah. You know, you could give them cameras and they could shoot down on people.
But they see the back of the same thing all the time.
Our truck's on the curb, too. I mean,
I have a friend that owns a radio station. They actually broadcast from inside the parade, and it's the same thing they see all the time. They describe the people who are passing by from their vantage point as they go down the parade route.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting take on a parade.
Yeah. Who's there on the sidewalk?
We got little guys coming by with the bags. Oh, my goodness. Even more people on stilts.
Yep.
Hey, take a look at that Mustang coming down the street there, Paul. You're a car guy.
Yeah, it looks like about an 05 or so.
Wouldn't be. Let's take a closer look at that.
Oh, that's a little more recent than that. Yep. The thing about dating Mustangs is they began to recreate the 1960s look for a lot of years, so you can only give a range.
Yeah.
Division 4 is getting close now, too.
Yep.
Very close, because there's the marshal for Division 4.
All right.
Going by our position right now.
And
behind them, a big truck. And behind them is the Cumberland High School Marching Band, sponsored by Bank RI. Let's get those mics on. Thank you, Mr. Truck. That was fantastic. I wish we could have got them on a little bit earlier.
If I'm correct, that's the
so we could have heard
that
well,
song,
they were going by us as they started playing the instrument on the song. It's very, very Very nice. And we're just delighted to have them here during our Autumnfest Parade. Thank you so much.
I believe that's every school in the region, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
just about.
Well, there could be a few more. We got an interesting thing going by here. Outspoken is the name of the car, and it's got a motorcycle that's pulling behind it with a monkey and a lady on it. Oh, look at the
late rear drive Monte Carlo and a Beetle.
Outspoken's a Woonsocket-based club that's geared towards raising awareness for all forms of cancers and the disabilities along with it for our nation's veterans.
Yep, with a fire engine.
All painted in gold.
Yeah.
And it's been signed by a bunch of people in their organization, and people have, I'm sure that they've helped too.
Well, absolutely. That's why they exist.
Autism awareness is next. Supporting the Autism Project as they go by. So this portion of our Autumnfest broadcast, as is going by, it's being brought to you by Pepin Lumber Company. I bet you a lot of these guys put floats together, went to Pepin Lumber to get their stuff.
Absolutely.
This year, stop cleaning your gutters. Pick up the Waterfall Gutter Guard system. Just snap them in place, and you no longer need to clean your gutters in the same old way. Pepin Lumber Company, 830 Cumberland Hill Road, Woonsocket, online at pepinlumber.com. I see a trophy on this float. What do you got there, Paul?
Let's see.
And I see it. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Hometown America, the Rocky Point animated. What do they call it? Yard art.
Yeah, oh boy.
With all you got Goofy and Minnie and all the cartoon characters from Warner Brothers and all the rest of that stuff on a Ferris wheel. Carnival folk art.
Now, whose float is this? That's what I'm trying to see.
His name is on the side. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jim McDonald, right there.
Thank
There you go.
Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Mike McDonald, Jim McDonald is the owner.
Carnival folk art, and there it is. That's the
Hometown
beautiful.
Americana.
That's the beautiful award. All right.
Ye Old
Nice.
Rhode Island.
Yep.
What's this?
And Buddy
Buddy
D.
D's Sound
Buddy D's
Unlimited.
DJ service. There
Yep.
you go. What do you know?
Sound Unlimited.
Yeah,
That's Buddy DeSpirito.
That's
where
right.
the D comes from.
that's right.
And I'm assuming that's him on the front of the little float that they've got there.
Well, I guess that's all his DJs.
I would say float is very appropriate. It's a boat.
Division 5 already.
Already? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
This parade's
We're going to be
flying
home in
by.
time for supper, guys.
Well, it's a cool day. They're moving fast.
Yep, we know that.
Yeah. Which is
Look at
fine.
this. What is that?
Well, let's see. That's a Corvette.
That's
a
don't look like
very
my daddy's Corvette.
No, it's a very recent vet, but also a little bit squished.
Yeah.
And here's the Blackstone Millville Marching Band.
Oh, all right. They're going to be. I hope they play. Here we go.
You know they'll march.
Thank you, Blackstone Millville, for coming to Autumnfest, and we got a T-Rex right behind them.
Listen, I thought I was the dinosaur here.
A raptor or something. Yeah. And you got an alien carrying a lady down the street.
Some of the sights you see at these parades.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Son of a gun, look at that. DRL Carpets van is in here. Everybody gets involved here at Autumnfest. Look at this.
Yeah, she's been to Area 51, eh?
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. We got. Yep,
There's another nice convertible there, Paul. A yellow
we're looking
one.
at a Saab. That's a
Saab?
Yeah, towards the end of Saab manufacture. Sadly, it's a Saab story. They're just not
What's
with us
the-
anymore.
What's the name that's on there? Oh, Joie de Vivre, the Red Hatters. Okay.
Of course.
Beautiful.
Oh, Model T Ford. Looks like towards the latter
good one.
part of the run.
The good one. The one that made the Ford Motor Company.
Yep, from the late 1920s, mid to late 20s.
And do we have a swimming club here?
The Woonsocket Whalers swimming team, yes.
All righty. From the Woonsocket Y, isn't it? Yeah.
Looks like it.
Rise Prep Mayoral Academy's got a contingent here in the parade.
All right. And here we have
Something up your alley.
That's an A.
No, let's see. That
an
looks
A?
like an earlier T.
An earlier T.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a Model A before the Model T, but it kind of doesn't count because Henry restarted everything with the T in 08, and then when that ran its course, he went back to the beginning of the alphabet.
All right, let's listen in as the kids are trying to say something. Rise Prep Academy. The float of all kinds of youngsters in there. Greeting everybody here at our Autumnfest Parade. And looking down the street, we see, my goodness, it's time for
Douglas
the Douglas High School Band.
As the Douglas Band marches away, they have a new band director, actually, Tony Pacheco. So we welcome him and the entire Douglas Band right here to the Autumnfest Parade on ON.
The Douglas Band has been to destinations like Tennessee, Virginia, Florida, D.C., Chicago, the Bahamas, Toronto, and recently to Philadelphia.
They get around.
And speaking of getting around.
Yes. Look at the bus.
It's getting around time for us to make another message here. We'll be right back here after we remind you this portion of our Autumnfest Autumnfest Parade being brought to you by Pep and Lumber Company. And this is the year that you stop cleaning your gutters, Paul. Pick up the Waterfall Gutter Guard system. Just snap them in place. You no longer have to clean your gutters. Pep and Lumber, 830 Cumberland Hill Road in Woonsocket, online at pepandlumber.com. Okay. The Shriners Division is here.
Now known as the Rhode Island Shriners because Palestine Shrine, well, some people took it the wrong way a few years back.
Silly. What are you going to do?
I know, but I guess they made the right move considering the reality of the age.
I suppose.
These are folks who just have a good time helping people. It is fun to watch them, frankly. They spread fun.
Yeah, the artisan unit is here with shrine clowns up on top, waving to the gang as they're going by.
And will we hear the music from the truck?
I believe so.
All right. One of the big hits during Coffee Ann was when the Shriners' tiny 18-wheeler went by. Here come the little cars and trucks.
The little cars are here, gang.
Yeah. So the yellow one you see is a warm-up here, the little yellow kind of fire truck here. Wait till you see tiny 18-wheeler. It's got a Jeep. A monster truck. There it is.
Yep.
The driver is actually looking out through that window in the sleeper compartment.
Ah, yes.
Obvious sentiment. And they're all wearing their fezzes, of course.
Natch.
Those hats, that's part of their uniform as Shriners.
It's iconic. We ride so children can walk.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And their little gold carts that are dressed up quite extensively.
Check out the Rhode Island license plate on the back.
You actually have one, yes.
Yeah, little replica Rhode Island plate with the wave.
St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center passing by our location right now with a beautiful maroon Jeep. Mardi Gras, 25th anniversary, and there's a float attached to this. How do I know this? Because King Jace is aboard, and we have something to do with King Jace every year.
Absolutely.
And not only King Jace, but the Mardi Gras, the Royal Court. I think camera 2 is probably going to get the best shot of those guys because they're facing back toward the oncoming parade. Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts puts on Mardi Gras a week before the actual Mardi Gras every year so we can get the good bands. And seriously, and Mardi Gras prom queen, Joyce LaPearl, and of course Bob Billington, King Jace. And I was looking for the names of the princesses. Quickly, give me, okay, there we are, Tammy Irwin and Kimberly Blaze. I'm sorry I couldn't remember. There's Bob Billington,
Bob. All right.
And there's Joyce LaPearl, and there's our princesses there on the back of the Mardi Gras float. Very, very nicely done. Doesn't he look striking in that costume?
King of the Blackstone Valley, all right.
I guess so, you betcha. All right, thanks for coming by. All right, next, the Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts officers and members. We have them there. I bet you Romeo Berthew's in there, but I haven't seen him yet.
Ought to be, though.
There's one of those little...
a Chevy HHR.
Yeah, that dressed up with the colors of the Mardi Gras.
Yep.
But I hear music coming down the street, guys. And that means that Kids Club
is coming up.
And as they're approaching, let me just take a moment here to get...
our fan favorite.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Lepore.
Look who it is.
The dancing cop. I remember Tony when he actually was on the Providence Police Force. He took a report when a radio got stolen out of the station's car. Yep.
Now he's known all throughout the state for his dancing.
Yep.
All right, as I was saying, we have to get a little message in before we hear our next group.
By the Mayor's Award.
This portion of ON Radio's Autumnfest coverage brought to you by Rhode Island State Representative Steve Casey, who hopes you all have a happy and safe Autumnfest. See you at Autumnfest from Rhode Island State Representative Steve Casey, District 50. Paid for by Friends of Stephen Casey.
And back we come again. The 70th anniversary of what now, guys? What's this float all about? I see Elvis is there.
This float's about the Kylo Dance Studio. Speaking of dance,
yeah.
The Mayor's Award goes to this float.
And you can see why looking at it. I mean, they look like they have every decade taken care of on those sides at the end.
And it sounds like an ocean liner when that one goes.
I say this every year. I remember Barbara Krylo and Charlie Krylo. And, of course, Linda took it over afterwards. They used to be on Main Street. They moved down a little bit. Quite a dance studio. I've always been very, very impressed. In fact, they taught me to dance.
There you go. But yeah, so 70 years for the studio. That's amazing.
Certainly is.
Yep.
Well, it's the second generation now, you see.
Well, would kind of have to be. Oh my goodness.
We have a banner from Moonlight Wieners here. We're the band and everything.
And I saw a WOON banner too as we get into Division 7 coming up in just a few seconds here.
Yes.
Here's the Moonlight Wiener Orchestra.
Marching band.
You know, I could do with one couple all the way right now. Maybe a little easy on the onions, but you know.
Nice drums.
Yes, always good to have some music along with your wieners.
Yes.
And here comes Division 7.
And the banner is from your favorite local radio station.
There you go.
And TV outlet.
Yeah, of course.
Owner of the one and only ON TV truck. Broadcasting in HD around the world.
Look at us at www.onworldwide.com.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And there's ON, the Woonsocket Radio.
Woonsocket Radio, yep.
Hey, is this Killingley, Connecticut? It is. Right behind him. Killingley, Connecticut High School
The Big
Music.
Red Marching Band.
Here we go. Thanks for coming, Killingley.
Steven Spielberg know about this? The Jurassic Park replica Jeeps and others. All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Well, there's a Jeep Club in Rhode Island,
Yep.
and they're all excited about this.
Yeah, the Explorer too.
JurassicParkJeepRide.com.
Yeah, the yep. There you go, JP Explorer.
As you can hear the Jurassic Park theme in the background.
Yep. All right, 68 Mustang.
In Robin Hood green, very dark green.
Sure
Hey, look
would,
at the engine air intake popping out of the hood on this Dodge here.
64 or so Dodge Coronet. Roughly 64.
And even the gauges are outside because they had to cram a lot of stuff into that car, that's for sure.
Well, the other thing too is when you got them out there, they're in your line of sight when you're driving. So
good point.
If you're going really fast down a drag strip, you don't want to look too far off to one side or down low or anything like that.
Exactly.
So it kind of makes sense. 64. Hey, nailed it. Thanks. All right.
We got Knights of Columbus. Here we go.
Well, you know, it is October.
What's the name of our local chapter here? Do you have that on your paperwork?
Yeah.
We haven't found it yet. May very well be on here, but
every now
I believe these are all
every
the
now and then we
individual
find
knights.
ourselves, Knights of
there we
Columbus,
go.
there we go. Okay. Now, we have a chapter number here. It is the Woonsocket chapter of the Knights. John Tracy is the Grand Knight. We've got 10 to 20 marchers. And let's see, they have their float. 125th year for the Rhode Island State Council. And the oldest state council in the order, it tells us.
And here comes
guys,
the
I hear bagpipes.
I do too. Colonial Pipers. Great, of course.
Look at these athletic girls coming by, guys.
Studio 25.
Look at this. Whoa, doing a backflip right in front of our truck.
Yes.
Two of
Look at
them.
that.
That is athleticism.
They
I'll tell
are
you.
a dance studio after
I
all.
gave up doing that a few years ago.
I thought it was more recently than that, Dave.
We have a We have a pickup truck, a big white Ford pickup truck coming by with his doors open. I don't know why, but he's towing a trailer, and it looks like it's got some sort of, oh, look at this, Brothers Disposal. It's a commercial truck, and it's towing, there's more cheering going on here. Who's this group here?
Might be more of Studio 25, I don't know.
Lyrics in Motion. They have the new location right next to Autumnfest Park. I guess nobody wanted to ride in the trucks, so they all are out in the street walking by. It's a dance group.
I mean,
well, look at this, look at this.
There they go.
It's kind of wacky idea about what we're seeing here. The truck may have been running hot, so they put the heater on full blast to help cool the engine. They leave the doors open and people aren't on the float. It happens in parades. Even though it's not a really hot day.
Why would you want to stay on the float when you got moves like that?
Yeah. I wonder.
You guys have all the paperwork. Who's that going by?
You just heard the sounds of the Kickin' Brass Band.
All right. Well, you got to kick something, or you might as well kick some brass.
That's it.
And here comes Brownie Troop 791, 764, all the Woonsocket Girl Scouts, I believe.
Reciting the Girl Scout pledge. Ooh, Division 9 already.
Wow.
We are, my friends, gonna make a record today. Very nice. Quota Club International. It's going by right now. And
Crane Riders.
Savini's
Yes,
Parmados, big supporters of Autumnfest, and the Ichabod Crane. This is wow. Look at this Ichabod Crane Band from Valady, New York.
Yeah, they are fun to watch and listen to.
Thanks for coming to Autumnfest. Ichabod Crane, they've been here many times before.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Here comes, who's that, Recycle Man?
Big
The Recycle Man. Recycle Man. I forgot, there's a name for, oh yes, Max Man. Max Man. Here he is. He's their mascot for recycling here in the city, in the back of a DPW truck, and he always makes a striking impression wherever he goes.
Just recycle it right. That's the message.
His top is a plastic bottle top. And then Sparks Law has a big tarantula on top of their truck. And there's another one of their
mascots here.
Yeah, mascots.
Big black cat.
A big black cat, a panther on top of the other. Four-wheel drive Humvee type vehicles that Sparks Law has brought in.
That GM used to make.
Yeah. Jacobidian Sound.
Right.
Paul's helping out with things going on here at Autumnfest, has for many years. We have more fire trucks. These look like all antiques, guys.
Yep, these are classics here.
The Rhode Island Antique Fire Apparatus Society, or RIAFIS.
All right.
They're all privately owned, I'll bet.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Look at the license plate, helps us out, guys. It says 1957 Ward La France, right?
Yep.
From Providence, going by. That's got one of those water cannons on it. Do you see that? The water cannon?
Yep.
And this one with the snub nose, we used to have one of these in Pasco.
Yep, those were very popular at one time. And could be an ALF, American La France. Or is it a, what does it say? Yeah, I think it is. All right.
But next one says Engine 7 from Westbrook Fire Department.
Connecticut?
But boy,
so. That'd be quite a
that's
drive.
got ladders and hoses on it.
Kittery from Maine. Kittery Point.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of times that's where the truck originally was. It's not necessarily where it resides.
No, it's got
today.
Rhode Island license. It's got Rhode Island antique plate on it.
Oh, so here's Onset.
From the Cape.
Yeah.
With a roadie plate on it.
And they were all red.
Yes, I mean, because not every fire truck is, although most are.
Boy, this has got one of those aerial ladders on it. I bet you that must be fun to clean your gutters there, but if they went to Pep and Lumber, they wouldn't have to anymore.
There's a Maxim, you know, those are made in Middleborough.
Yes, that's right. You mentioned that to me once before.
Yeah, and Adam, you've been to where they were made.
Oh, yeah.
Bugsy's Garage.
Okay.
Our friend owns the old garage.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, it's 11 o'clock. We have to pause for station ID and a little message. We'll be right back.
This is ON 1240, WOON, Woonsocket. ON Radio. This portion of ON's coverage of Autumnfest brought to you by Melissa Murray, candidate for State Senate District 24.
Hello, this is Councilwoman Melissa Murray. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast of Autumnfest. I'd like to personally thank all of the committee members, sponsors, and all of the great people in our community for making this event happen year after year. I ask for your vote on Election Day, November 6th.
Paid for by friends of Melissa Murray.
All right, we're back here at the Autumnfest Parade curbside. Paul Zangari, Adam Zangari. Nicole's up on top of the TV truck. Paul's across the street taking pictures with camera 2. And we got the Tasca banner going by. And right behind Tasca, we have, well, Tasca started doing Fords a long time ago, didn't they, Paul Zangari?
Well, yeah, actually, Bob Tasca, shortly after World War II, little known fact, his first dealership was in Bristol, and it got blown out by Hurricane Carol in '54. And that's when he moved to the East Providence location. Where
This is one of those earlier ones,
racing.
but this is decked out with a lot of options on it.
Yeah, this is a, let's see, I think it's a 65.
Black one. It's decked out like a touring car. It's a black
Mustangs.
convertible, but it's got like a luggage rack on the back. You see that?
65 Mustang. Yeah, that was a popular accessory in the 60s.
Very, very popular.
Yep. And
take a look at the back of that one too. Hey, look, it's got the same license plate on the back. What do you know?
Oh, you mean it's legal? All right.
And this one is
looks like a Camaro with
Little Miss Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Is that Little Miss Rhode Island? They look
Just
a little
Miss
more
Rhode
grown up.
Island, I
Yeah,
think.
Miss
Yeah.
Rhode Island. Yeah.
Another striking yellow truck right behind there. It's got a sign on the side. I'm
I
not
missed
sure
the
what it
front of
says.
it, so I can't tell you what it is.
Okay.
I think it's a
Hey,
Tundra,
wait a
but I'm not
minute.
sure.
We got little Villanovas going by here.
Yeah, we do.
like it.
Okay.
And they're cheering for us. Here we go. Nicely done. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And there's even more behind there. Young athletes with the maroon and white on, says Woonsocket. And I don't see a. Do you see anything in your parade thing?
It says, yeah, Woonsocket Little League, but these look like more than just Little Leaguers. We've got a bunch of kids in football uniforms, other uniforms, just the youth
Lots of
Woonsocket
cheerleaders
showing out.
Yeah. Local youth athletics. There's a nice safe catch-all term.
Looks like they're dressing up their lines.
Oh, okay. The Redskins are in here.
Redskins, yep.
Yep.
They be Redskins. They're giving high fives to the kids on the sidelines as they go by. Oh, look at this. My goodness, we just had one come out here and do a double somersault.
Oh, my.
Right in the middle of Social Street.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, there he goes again.
Wow. And then he stood up and he caught a football that had been passed when he was already in the air.
Nice going.
Whew. My goodness, that is remarkable.
I am
more cheerleaders. Let's see if we can hear them.
Yep.
Very nice. And a couple pickup trucks behind them. Well, what are these guys do? It looks like they're in a huddle.
And they're going to go out and make a few plays.
That's it. They're in a. He caught
the bottle.
Yeah, he caught the bottle. American Red Cross going by right now in the Autumnfest Parade.
Yep.
And coming up behind that, we have Woonsocket Little League. There you go, making baseball great again.
There we go.
The baseball players are behind the football players. I think they were all different age groups of the football players, actually, don't you think?
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Seems
sure
to go
that's
by
the
youngest
case.
to oldest.
As they're going by.
It's easier to see over the little guys if they're in front of you.
That's why they set them up that way for pictures, right?
I think so.
Oh, the dragon boats are here. The Blackstone Valley Dragon Boat races happen every fall. And we've had them already this year, but look for them again next year. You get teams together, and you get in the boats out on the Blackstone River, and somebody says, stroke, stroke. Everybody grabs an oar and starts doing it, and they have actual dragon boat races. Of course, there's a whole fair and festival that goes on along with it.
Drag races, dragon races, whatever.
Dragon boat races. These are Chinese dragon boats.
Dragon drag races. Dragon boat drag races. That's it.
Bob Billington said they were going to have them here in the parade. I says, are they going to be on the float or are they going to drag them? Never mind.
They're floating by.
Glory of Taiwan.
There you go.
Nice.
It's funny when you're talking about seeing over the little ones in front of you. I don't know if you saw the 100th birthday pictures at my mom's party in the breeze.
Oh, wait a minute. We have royalty here, guys.
Whoa.
Let me interrupt here. Talking about Bob's pictures and not as important as seeing Santa Claus.
It's early yet.
Oh,
I know, but we've got Santa Claus with some helpers up there.
I
The
see a
Polar
reindeer.
Express, of course, is one of the biggest attractions in the Blackstone Valley. People come from hundreds of miles around to see our Polar Express, and Warner Brothers tells us we run the best Polar Express train of anybody in the country, and they license it, so they ought to know.
Yeah, and of course.
Really nicely done. So Santa's there.
Since a Rhode Islander wrote the Polar Express.
Good for Santa to take time out of his busy
only
schedule
right.
to come and visit us.
Exactly, yes. Coming down, is this, I'm looking to see, is this our headline band?
I think so.
Oh,
The
wait.
Dartmouth High School Band.
All right. Then we're going to be quiet and see what we can get from them here as they go by our location. They're not quite up to us yet. You certainly don't want to be talking when they're playing.
I'll make this quick. So, in those pictures, guess who's standing in the back row? Because he's the tallest, right? There you go. Yep. That's how it works.
Towering over everybody.
Yeah. Land of the Giants.
They're not playing yet, but they look pretty good, and they're green and gold and white. Dartmouth High School Band, our headliners.
Yeah.
Big color guards coming along, and they've got teal slacks and gold tops on.
They're the U.S. Bands Division 5 National Champions.
That's why there are headliners. You can hear the drums. They're getting ready.
There's the whistle
Yep.
and the roll-off. our headliner band.
And you know, they really are neighbors when you think about it, Dartmouth, and to have won such a great award. Good to have them.
Very nice, very nice. And you saw the sign that said, the steering committee, thank you very much for being with us. And what's that other sign saying? Keeping our city clean. Yes, it's the Scouts coming by to pick up all the refuse. And that concludes the parade. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be right back to wrap up after we remind you this portion of the parade brought to you by Navigant Credit Union. With Navigant Credit Union, value is the difference. When you open a Journey checking account with Navigant, you will say goodbye to ATM fees. For all that Navigant Credit Union offers, visit their website, Navigant Credit Union. That's navigantcu.org. Paul and Adam, final comments on our parade.
Fun parade as usual. Great turnout of people, bands, marching units, and floats.
Definitely.
It
I'd
was
say
fun.
this year's parade, I'd go as far as to say it was better than most others I've been to, definitely.
Well,
it was a great parade.
Well, you had a better vantage point than you've had before, too.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And folks, it's really a very, very nice thing to see when the parade. Well, okay, guys, you're back on because all the other cameras are off. We have to beat it to get to the parade. To get back to Autumnfest, because the ONTV truck is broadcasting the rest of Autumnfest back at the park. So our crew, I don't know if you've noticed it, the audience at home can't tell, but it feels like we're going to a typhoon here in a small boat, because they're up on the roof here
taking down equipment,
taking down cameras and things like that. Another message here from Melissa Murray, who brought you this portion of our broadcast as well.
This portion of ON's coverage of Autumnfest brought to you by Melissa Murray, candidate for State Senate District 24.
Hello, this is Councilwoman Melissa Murray. I hope you're enjoying this broadcast of Autumnfest. I'd like to personally thank all of the committee members, sponsors, and all of the great people in our community for making this event happen year after year. I ask for your vote on Election Day, November 6th.
Paid for by Friends of Melissa Murray.
And that's it, as Paul Zangari said, in the words of the famous Mel Blanc.
Yep.
That's all, folks. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you in the park for the rest of Autumnfest.
Sayonara.
All right.